He set his broken bone with a snap. She froze. You can repair yourself? I upgrade when I break. The forest was unnervingly quiet after the ambush. No birds, no wind, just a shallow rasp of Eric's breathing and the dull throb in his arm. He knelt against a fallen tree, the left sleeve of his jacket soaked through with sweat and blood. His wrist hung at a sickening angle, bone pressing against skin but not piercing. His attackers were gone, either dead or smart enough to run. But what had been quick enough to land a solid blow with a plasma staff before he'd ended them? Across the clearing, the alien woman stared at him like she wasn't sure if he was a man or a machine. Her armor was cracked at the shoulder, deep green blood staining the plates. They fought side by side, but not as allies, more like two prisoners who'd found themselves in the same pit. Eric gritted his teeth. Gonna hurt. She tilted her head. You're injured. You need a medic. No medic here, he muttered, gripping his wrist with his right hand. Just me? Before she could speak again, he took a deep breath and snapped the bone back into place. The sound was sharp, echoing in the silence. His face tightened, but he didn't cry out. Instead, he flexed his fingers, testing the joint. The alien woman froze, silver-green eyes widening. You can repair yourself? Eric chuckled dryly. Not exactly. He reached into the pouch at his belt and pulled out a small injector filled with metallic fluid. But I can upgrade when I break. She watched as he fitted the injector to a small port hidden just beneath the skin on his forearm. The hiss of pressure filled the air, and the fluid vanished into him. Moments later, thin strands of something like silver filigree crept beneath his skin, weaving around the damaged bone. That isn't natural, she whispered. Nope, he said, flexing his hand again. Titanium lattice reinforcement. Hurts like hell, but it heals stronger than before. Her gaze lingered on the fading swelling, the way his arm was already regaining movement. Why would a human alter himself like that? Eric smirked. Because out here, things break you whether you want them to or not. Might as well get better every time it happens. They moved on together, not speaking much. The undergrowth thickened as they approached the ridge, but the silence between them was heavier than the foliage. She kept glancing at him, like she was trying to solve a puzzle. Finally, she said, Where I come from, damage means weakness. Once broken, a warrior is less. We are taught to hide our injuries, to live with what remains. Eric shrugged. That's the difference, I guess. Where I come from, you fix what's broken. And if you can, you make it better than before. Her expression was unreadable. You make it sound hopeful. Not hope, he said, just survival. By nightfall, they had found a shallow cave. Eric lit a small fire while she inspected her damaged armor. He noticed the way her hands hesitated when they brushed a fracture in her shoulder plate. You wanted to fix that? He asked. Her head snapped up. You can't. You aren't. An engineer? He tossed her a compact repair kit. I'm not, but I've patched enough gear to keep myself alive. She took it slowly, her fingers brushing his. You help enemies? Not enemies, Eric corrected. Just people standing between me and death. And right now you're one of those people. She worked in silence for a while before saying softly, If I could upgrade when I broke, maybe I would not fear injury so much. Eric looked at her. seeing not the sharp lines of her armor or the strange hue of her skin, but the vulnerability in her posture. "Maybe you don't need the metal," he said. "Sometimes just knowing you can come back from it is enough." The next morning, the sound of engines woke them. A scout craft swept low over the trees, searchlights cutting the mist. "They found us," she hissed. Eric flexed his newly reinforced arm, feeling the strength humming through it. "Good. I need to test the upgrade." She blinked at him. "You seek combat?" "I don't," he said with a faint grin. "But when it comes, I make it pay for showing up." The scout craft landed in a clearing ahead, armored troops spilling out. Eric and the alien woman took opposite flanks without speaking. She moved like a shadow, her cracked armor barely slowing her. He fought like a man who refused to fall twice the same way, every motion measured, every strike deliberate. When it was over, the clearing was quiet again. She stepped toward him, breathing hard, her eyes bright. "You were stronger." He shrugged. "Upgrades work." For a moment, she said nothing. Then, with a strange softness, "Perhaps I could learn this way, to not be less when broken." Eric met her gaze. "Breaking isn't the end. It's just a chance to rebuild." Her lips curved just slightly. "Then maybe you are not just human." The forest wind stirred, carrying the scent of smoke and metal. Somewhere in the distance, more engines roared. But for now, they stood side by side, two fighters, both mended in their own ways. And when she glanced at his arm again, it was no longer with fear.